Hey Lauren, this is a quick demo video for you for your custom hilt by Eric. I forget Eric's last name, but we went with kind of a Jedi Temple Guardian on this guy. So a little bit of filigree right here to go with the Jedi symbol here, and then I made sure to put in a few places here, here, and here the actual symbol for the Jedi Temple Guardian. So I hope that you like the way this came out. This is a pretty cool hilt. There are a few challenges going into this guy. There's a bit of a misalignment, just by millimeters. But if I hold it here, you know, you could see like from this screw that's holding in the clip to up here to the shroud. If you try to line that up in a perfect line, if I put that right at the camera, you can see a little bit of, so that threw me off a little bit on my etching, just for this guy, because I'd go and I'd line up against, you know, the screw, but then I'd end up being off a little bit up here. But you and I talked about that already. I decided not to move these shrouds or twist them in any way, because I would just be creating more holes in this main piece, and I didn't want to do that. This is very well put together. However, it is thin. So the metal's thin. It's a light, thin, small hilt, you know, beautiful as it may be. So I left it alone. I did put in a switch right here, because there was no place for any switch on this guy. So put in a switch right here, much the same as the last custom hilt that I did for you, same kind of switch. You do have a Proffie V2 in here. It is a one-button setup. Did not feel comfortable putting two switches in this guy for integrity purposes. So we went with one-button setup. You didn't have a blade retention anywhere, so I tried to put it as close to the edge and off to the side and inconspicuous as I possibly could. So that's a little black 8/32 set screw. You do have plenty of blade depth right there. Your Shtok NPXLs inside of there. Now this comes off in two pieces. It can, but you really don't need to. So this piece right here, this back piece would come off if you were to unscrew this guy. But I modeled the chassis in a way to accept this, so you don't need to move this at all. What you will need to do though is take this guy out right here, and we'll do that now. This is going to be how you access your battery and your board. So it comes right off, handle slides off, and here's your chassis. So of course you're not going to see your board. Your Proffie board is sitting right here, right along this guy. It's on the same side facing up as where you put your battery in. So right here in the brass piece, this board or this chassis does have a hole going through it right here that I just burned right through the chassis, so that when you put the screw into this guy and put your handle in, it secures everything. But when you take that screw out, if you wanted to, you could pull this out and get to your board. But if you don't want to, you shouldn't have any problems with it staying in place. Now this does have a 22mm bass speaker. And as you can see on the last part of the chassis, I had to drop down that diameter of the chassis so that it would fit inside this brass piece right here that changes diameter on the inside. So had to do that so that it would fit there. You can see, if you can see that, right where I started that diameter change in the chassis, that's where the end of that brass piece is on the inside. So everything's a nice snug fit. So that's the biggest speaker you could get in there. And then, you know, pretty simple chassis, removable battery with your spring being your negative. So we'll throw a battery in now. Impressive. Just like that. Now we're gonna put the handle back on. Whoop. Motion controls are cool. But sometimes they go off and you don't want them to. You asked me for the motion controls, or gesture controls rather, sorry. So they are on there. We got the 5 sound fonts that you wanted. I got them all loaded on there. I got as close to the blade color as I could possibly get. So now I got everything, I got the handle screwed on there. swing on. See your NeoPixel's working fine. You just tap this for your blaster. Now you can either hold the button to turn it off or you can just twist it. And then we're going to hold down the button to get to your sound fonts when the blade is off. Whoop. You double tap it, you get to music actually, but I didn't mean to do that. I believe that Citizen one was the last one on the list. So we're going to cycle back through. That one takes a moment to turn off just from the nature of it.
General Krell, you're being relieved of duty.
I'm just showing you all these work. And we'll throw a test blade in it real quick so you can see that too. Core and horn. So we cycle through those. Now I'm going to put a test blade in. It does take a 1-inch diameter blade. If you got one that's not sanded, it'd probably fit in here perfect. I actually have, my test blade's been sanded quite a bit to test other types of hilts that have a tight blade chamber, but twist it, and we'll go through another one. The Smooth Jedi one will just be your battery meter. So I just skip right over that guy, but I think this is cool. That's pretty cool. So as you can see, well, we'll just cycle through now that we got the blade in.
I wondered when you would return.
Goes down nice and slow. It's pretty cool.
General Krell, you're being relieved of duty.
Core and horn. So, as you can see, everything's working good. Hope I got your blade colors the way you wanted them. And I hope this came out the way that you had envisioned it in your head. It was fun to work on. Thank you for your business.